8.
You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales. Streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Hey, happy Monday. So, the technical difficulties were on Robbie's side this time for a change.
Don't throw him under the bus. He's award-winning.
No, I'm just happy it's not us.
I'm happy it wasn't you as well.
I don't know if you want to rush to be saying that, man,
That's a good
because at
point.
any
Yeah,
moment,
that's a good point. It could happen at any moment.
28.8 speed will just drop. And we'll
So,
be gone.
yeah, right. So, John has been busy this weekend because he was clearly – so, if you've read about it, in the local area, it's all in the news, in the local news. So Taylor Swift made a impromptu appearance on Long Beach Island, which is a shore town in the state of New Jersey,
About an hour from here.
which is where John usually hangs out during the summers. And Taylor Swift showed up and clogged this town up,
Oh
buddy.
yeah, there was no lead. There was no going anywhere. There was people, you couldn't drive anywhere because people were just driving to get like the best spots. And this is the north side of the island. Where we were, I can't imagine the people on the south side of the island where she actually was. That's where the wedding was.
So there was talk at one point that, I had nothing planned this weekend that, maybe I go hang out with John at a local bar at LBI. LBI is a wonderful little shore town. Very pretty.
It's basically for people that don't know, it's a big boulevard from a lighthouse up north to like a bird preserve at the south.
Right.
And it's just bars and restaurants and houses. It's no boardwalk. It's just great.
So being a coach of a 12U softball team, needless to say, my phone blew up that morning. I knew probably the moment that there was a Taylor Swift sighting, and I'm like, I am going nowhere near that town today.
Right now, she's the biggest celebrity in the world.
It was all over the local news. Oh my God! It was the entire team, of Swifties, texting back. I was like, oh my God, I'm not going anywhere near there. I'm not going. Not even within a half hour.
I saw the future after the apocalypse. There were gangs of girls just wandering the streets, dressed in various versions of her, singing her songs to the top of their lungs, like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
About Dazzler?
You know what? You're not kidding. They had a
no. That's the rumor going around.
Oh, Taylor Swift is doing Dazzler?
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that.
She will single-handedly.
She turned down the Super Bowl. I don't think so.
Why not?
She turned down the Super Bowl, man.
Maybe she turned down the Super Bowl so that she could be in Deadpool 3 as Dazzler.
Not only that, but Disney has more money than the
Does
NFL.
anybody think that if there was any truth to that rumor, it would not already be out, dude? Trust me.
It's out there in a lot of places.
It's out there in a lot of places.
Okay, I'm gonna actually talk to some of the members of the team. The actual Swifties, because if there's something going on, they will know.
Okay.
A bunch of middle-aged old guys don't really know.
I heard the rumor from a respected publisher in comics, so I tend to believe that.
I got to tell you guys. I got to thank TJ James right now.
Oh, did you say
And by the way, this is hypocritical because I told these guys to get into selling within 5 minutes of the show starting.
I know, right? But
sorry, Nick, we have no time for whatever you want to say. We got to get
Is this
right?
Is this a story of you bought something and they sold it to you?
No, I can't believe this.
So, TJ, what?
Is that on their end or my end?
And it begins.
Thank you, TJ.
Oh my! And thank you.
Hold on just a second, Nick. You guys are freezing.
I hate Comcast.
Anybody is freezing still?
There you go. You're good.
We're good now?
I swear.
TJ, I'm gonna.
Nope, we're losing you again. Man,
This is my favorite bit in the whole show, Jay.
I'm starting to think that they're just punking me, that this isn't real.
Nick's just like,
not have this. And this is freaking
Switch.
Yeah, as if they could
It
do
says
that.
enjoy your pineapple
Yeah.
pizza, mother. Beep, and then
Oh
that's it.
my God! I swear, are we back?
We're kind of
I'm
back.
pretty sure.
Hey, what's up?
I'm pretty sure that was beautiful, but we missed every part of it.
yeah.
I assure you, it was not beautiful, but you did miss every part of
and
it.
reshoot that.
Oh,
Do the
my
Jane
Lord.
Robbie show, exactly. Here's the
Oh my Lord!
I understand. I was having problems yesterday on my
Weird-
live stream.
The
So
weird thing is even when just this being on, for some reason, makes Comcast work better.
That's actually true
It is.
because a lot of
You
times
don't even
I
have
don't.
to connect
Yeah,
to
I
it.
don't connect to it.
Well, they
And just-
sense competition, so they step
It's like
up
the
the game.
threat.
Right?
It's the threat.
Are we freezing at all?
No, I think we're good.
Robbie, are we freezing?
you're good now. Y'all are good now.
All right. So
But what was that? Is that a signed omnibus?
Nick got the book.
All right. So, again, I need to say to TJ, thank you from the bottom of my heart because I do not have this.
Nice.
I have never seen this, and this is freaking awesome. So, thank you so much. Oh my God.
Is that like the entire Miller Jansen run?
Plus the What If
Okay.
28, which is unbelievable. And my favorite part, on a lot of levels, they have the thumbnails that Frank wrote and drew that Klaus then inked on Lightbox.
Oh,
Nice.
That's nice.
I mean,
And if you've watched the show for a while, you know Nick loves him some Daredevil, man.
Beautiful.
now he made that look different, but Frank, if you look at it, I mean, like, from Frank to Klaus, you can see the differences. But the word balloons, I mean, Frank wrote everything on every page.
There's like
I
an
don't-
artist edition coming out soon of Frank Miller and Klaus Janson on Daredevil, and I'm very pumped to see that.
That's
I
very cool.
don't use this word lightly, but this shows the genius of Frank Miller. Wow. This
In a
is
recent
just-
issue of Ronin Book 2, because he's doing the layouts for that, and Philip
Yeah.
Tan is doing the art, and his layouts they show like a few of them at the end of the last issue, and I'm like, that's like finished art. Like we could just print that, and I would be cool with that. I want a book of just his layout.
I'm good.
Mark is not as pretty as his Wolverine. Listen, let me tell you something. Daredevil will always be prettier than
Oh,
Wolverine.
boy.
I agree.
Someone's going to jump into chats with Martha Washington Goes to War.
You do know he's talking about the new Wolverine cover to Hearts of Darkness, right?
Yeah, I know. We talked about that last Monday. We talked about
I
that
think
cover.
so. I
I thought he was actually trying to say that the Wolverine miniseries was better than his Daredevil.
No. I'm getting used to Marcus's humor. That's the word.
No, I mean, I think in most comic chats, what's the most common debate for Frank Miller?
This
Is
is
his
so
Daredevil
beautiful.
stuff better, or is his Dark Knight stuff better? That
Daredevil.
seems to be the most common
Daredevil.
debate, right?
Daredevil.
But
Just
for
saying.
me, Ronin tops it all. That's just me, though.
the original Ronin.
Yes, the original Ronin, 100%.
I'll never forget part of the ending to that, where Ronin has to sacrifice somebody pure, and the woman is looking like afraid, and he says something like, "You're not pure enough, and your child doesn't have enough blood."
Oh God!
So he skewers himself to kill the bad guy.
Yep.
So
Marcus, Red Ronin is like that giant robot thing from like a Godzilla comic, and like
I haven't read that book in 40 years, and I remember that.
it was Red Ronin. I remember he had the shield with like the lightsaber thing.
This is just awesome. Thank you, TJ. Wow. That's all I can say. This is freaking awesome.
That's funny. I don't even think Frank Miller likes the Wolverine cover. Ouch.
Mill Skills has been
Mill
pretty
Skills-
upfront about his
Bill
opinion
Seals
on
getting
that
kicked
cover.
out of the room for that. Goodbye. Boop.
And by the way, sometimes go with your gut and never listen to advice. I had the opportunity at one point to buy this cover, original art, and I was trying to negotiate with the guy and do a cash trade. And I asked somebody's advice. He's like, "Oh, that's too much money." And I thought about it. So this is the screwed up part. I had till the end of February to make a decision. And as I'm getting on the plane to Comics Pro to go to Portland, Oregon, I get a call like, "Hey, this is taking too long. I sold the cover to somebody else." I'm like, I should have just went with my instinct and bought it.
Someday I'll be a powerful publisher in the industry, and I will crush you. And he hung up the phone.
No, I did not say that.
That's a better story.
I just said I'm really miffed at you. You gave me 10 more days, and now you took them away.
You don't ever swerve, Nicky the Roach.
If I had a brain, if I wasn't getting on the plane and I was prepping my keynote speech,
you would have countered.
I would have just said, "You gave me till the end of the month. I'll take it now." That's what I would have said. Instead, I'm getting on the plane, and by the time I got there, I had to focus on work. Work comes first, and I let it go. Albert always says it's too much money. Well, that's because you have to pay Albert extra because it's the Albert tax. It's wow. DC Comics presents with Challengers of the Unknown and Batman and the Outsiders. Oh, cool. Ooh, that Swamp Thing is nice.
There is stuff. What's his name going to come in and do?
See how easy I get distracted?
Oh, is he?
It's his birthday.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Not that he's watching this, but happy birthday, Alex.
So, all right. So,
It'd be a little sad if he wasn't
so
watching
TJ,
this.
obviously, Nick liked the gift. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a great community. Thank you. That's last week, John.
To be clear, Nick loves
the gift.
Loves the gift. Not liked it, loves it.
TJ, did you catch that?
I love the gift. This is awesome.
And whoever made the hair comment, yeah, Nick, if you look at the pictures of Nick going back through the years, he's always got the nice do. He's always got the nice hair. It's always, it's always there.
Andy Garcia told me who his hair transplant doctor was. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Meanwhile, Andy Garcia is watching, and now he just turned off.
I know. Right? Hey!
There goes the internet.
There's a lot of Andy Garcias out there. You don't know which one I'm talking about.
Really?
I thought you meant the Andy Garcia from Godfather Part 3, the cinematic classic.
No, it was the. We're freezing again.
I don't know. That might be Robbie.
Who's freezing?
Is it you, Robbie?
Am I freezing? Am I freezing now?
No, everybody's good. I think everyone's good.
Yeah, y'all both look good to me.
Okay. So, no. Don't you guys remember the third or fourth Meet the Fockers? Andy Garcia was a female character in that.
Oh, that's right.
I don't remember that.
I
don't because
you're probably smart enough not to watch the last one.
Yeah, they jumped the shark, dude.
The last one was not great. They went to the well one time.
Well, put it to you this way. I can't believe I'm
Fonzie on a leather jacket jumping a shark.
And not even as good. But when you got 3 movies of Robert De Niro being the CIA operative who can find out anything, and then all of a sudden he's having a difficult time using the internet to find an Andy Garcia that his son-in-law is working with, and he gets the actor Andy Garcia everywhere. It was so stupid. It's funny.
Nice. It's actually Andy Garcia from the deli down the street.
So, TJ, I love this. Thank you.
Thank you again, TJ. Roger, what's going on? Roger. Thanks for joining us tonight, man. All right, so you know what? I saw Ron in the house. Screech is not here, John Spilios.
John, I want to thank you again. I very much enjoyed adding the DC Comics Presents to my collection.
This guy.
I do. I love Man-Bat, man. It's one of those characters where I just they've done it 4 or 5 times, and they just don't get it. They don't quite get what I mean. Man-Bat could be something. The best version of Man-Bat I've seen is on that Facebook group I showed you, where Man-Bat is fighting Spider-Man instead of Morbius, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the best.
All right, so let's do the cover sketches. Hopefully, Ron's still in the house. I'm sure he's got better things to do with his
days. He's texting me the joke of the day.
There you go.
I love this, man.
So we're going to start off with Edge of Spider-Verse #1, signed with Spider-Boy cover sketch by Ken Haeser. Suggested retail of $99.99. We have this one available tonight for $62.19. So Ken did a bunch of these. This is the profile version. We had the straight headshot. All right, so that one is $62.19. Oh yeah, we got to talk about Blue Beetle, Edward. All right, next up we have Something is Killing the Children, #1. Pen and ink, signed with Erica Slaughter, cover sketch by
nice.
Ken Haeser.
I didn't know he was doing this. This I didn't know he was doing.
I didn't either until it hit my desk. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have it available tonight for $50.
I'm looking to see how well this translates to the screen. Because I think they've already announced that some development deal or something for this has been signed. So
Blue Beetle?
No.
Something is killing children.
Something is killing children.
Yeah, I think Netflix is doing it, right? Yeah.
Done right, and Netflix catches a lot of
you got it, Ron. I got you, buddy.
Understandably so. But there are times when Netflix hits stuff, like with their Flanagan verse horror. They're capable. The problem is they're like that player that has to be super motivated.
Right.
You know what I mean? I saw just recently that they just announced Netflix is the next, I guess, incarnation of the Flanagan verse is going to be. Apparently, Flanagan's a massive Vincent Price mark. You know, so am I. Right. I think most horror fans are. They're going to start doing Fall of the House of Usher.
Yeah, I saw
that. That's going to be the first one. Did you see that? And I guess the understanding there is they're going to sort of the same way Vincent Price introduced that generation's audience to Poe.
Right.
The idea is Flanagan's going to do that to, I guess, maybe the 25 and under crowd. I don't know how well that's going to work out, but
I wonder if it's going to be like the Vincent Price one where you watch the movie, you're like, oh, awesome. Then you read the short story and you're like, what?
What?
This is not the same book. What are you talking about?
Much of my, as a young kid, I talked about this before. When I was a little kid, there was something called the 4:30 movie, and stuff like Vincent Price horror movies were on all the time, right? And then all of a sudden I get to like high school, and you start reading projects and reading stuff, and I'm reading like the source material for these things, and I'm like, what?
Right.
This isn't even remotely the same.
Yeah.
And that was my introduction to, hey kid, the movie and the book is never the same.
Yeah, I remember when I read The Black Cat for the first time, and I was like, Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff are nowhere in this story.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I had that over and over and over again. After a while, my parents were like, stop asking. And of course, my dad was like, don't read books. I'm like, okay.
Another thing that Mike Flanagan is working on is, because he's a big Stephen King fan, obviously, as well, right? Is he's doing the Dark Tower series that's in development that he has the rights to.
That's right.
So it's supposed to be good. We'll see.
Well,
See if they get it right this time.
I think it leads to an interesting question as to, Blue Beetle, if they do exercise the option on Something's Killing Children, what are the differences there? But all right, so let me get through the rest of the cover sketches.
Yeah, we'll talk about Blue Beetle in a little bit.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it 10 times, but I've seen it pretty much every day since it came out. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Next up, we have there we go. All right, so next up we have Invisible Iron Man number 600, signed with Punisher versus Spider-Boy cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza, and this one obviously a classic cover.
Oh, this I like. This is great.
The splatter, man.
Yeah.
All the Spider-Boy hype. Some people are getting sick of it. I can see somebody picking this up in a hurry.
So suggested retail of $149.99. We have this one available tonight for $79.99. So you got it, John Spilios. Yeah.
That's
Mariano was
great.
working hard.
I kind of figured. I really like that a lot.
Whenever he does a blood splatter, you'll see him outside the office.
Does he use a toothbrush, or does he use a toothbrush when he does that?
He uses kind of like a toothbrush kind of to splatter it and all that stuff.
You gotta ask. Call it a fan brush, I think. I don't know.
You gotta ask him. I don't. I just see him outside to say hello and I walk in.
My art knowledge is Bob Ross.
Yeah.
But I think it's called he was telling me he takes like a fan brush or something, and something about the way the brush is.
So, all right, next up we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, number 1. This is a connecting cover sketch set with Green Hulk, actually Gray Hulk versus Red Hulk by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. And obviously Green Hulk in the background. So $249.99 suggested retail, and we've got it tonight for $149.99.
Wow, that's
and obviously connecting cover.
I had
And
only some
Jay,
Hulk
great
fans
job
who
stitching that one
delighted.
together, or did I do that? I don't even remember. So
that's very cool.
You can have the credit, Rex.
no, I think that doesn't look like my work. It looks far better. So it must be you.
That must be you.
It's even. All right, so we have this available tonight, and I think that is it for the CCAs. All right, and you know what? Let's go ahead and throw these out there.
Is there
Dynamite.
another one, or it's
What?
just the front and bottom?
Wait, what?
I thought there was another one because I'm looking at the rack from the screen. I thought there was another one, but if that's it, that's it.
No, I think we got everything.
Okay.
Okay, wait a minute. I might be wrong.
It looks like
It does look like there's one more up there, but like I said, I'm looking at it.
Wait.
did we show the Iron Man one? Is that
Yeah,
Iron Man down there?
yeah. That's the one. That was the Puncher one.
Oh, okay.
yeah. Yeah, I
saw
Sorry,
it.
yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
All right. Old man problems. Dementia.
It is
It's a
old
horrible
man
thing.
problems. I'm very sorry.
All right. So we also, as always, have the Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles, cover price of $3.99 or higher, so $40 retail or higher. And as always, for the group, we have the 10-book set at $5.50 a copy. So that's always available.
That's a nice pickup for John. He must be.
Well, I kind of when
figured
Mariana
it,
presented
right?
to me, I'm like that's definitely a big John Spilios piece. All right, okay, and we have a best offer book tonight. Suicide Squad King Shark #1, signed by Tim Seeley. It is a best offer book starting at $10. It is number 20 of only 94 signed.
And if you're a fan of the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie, this is it's doing something different, but it's kind of taking that approach to King Shark a little bit in this series. A little bit more comedic, a little bit more fun.
Now, unfortunately, because of Harley Quinn, every time I see this book, I hear King Shark's voice on.
Bottom left, Clayton J. Bottom left, if you're facing the screen, which I imagine that you are, is Edge of Spider-Verse #1, signed with Spider-Boy cover sketch by our buddy Ken Haeser. Suggested retail of $99.99, and we have the one for $62.19. You got it, Ron.
That is nice. I don't.
It is
Yeah,
a nice
that's.
piece.
You know what? I want to take one quick second before we kind of power on here. Most people know that I'm a fan of photo covers and cosplay covers, right? I've got probably way more than I should. I talk to a lot of the cosplayers. Probably the person I've gotten the most familiar with talking to is Rachel Holland. The Dynamite gave her a shout out on social media, but I sort of wanted to point this out. She is on 6 different covers portraying 3 different characters in 4 weeks. There's like a lot of talent there. And sometimes I think that sort of gets a little bit lost in our covers are metal and this and that. We've got all these great artists or whatever. These cosplayers are creators, maybe not in the traditional inker, letterer, artist, writer sense, but I talk to Rachel several times a week about different things. Not only is she a fan of the books, because we have long conversations, particularly with Vampirella, but she's doing Vampirella. She's doing Vampirella, Red Sonja, and Sheena. And then I think there's a week off, and then she's doing like another Vampirella and Barbarella. So she's doing 6 in 3 weeks and like 8 in 5 weeks or some crazy amount. Yeah, I mean, we haven't kept the most specific records on this. I'm pretty sure she's been on the most Dynamite covers.
I would say
covers.
so, yeah, probably.
She's been on a lot of stuff, and it's kind of cool because she's a huge fan. You know, I mean, we love all the cosplay models. Not all of them can have an hour conversation with me about Vampirella from the Harris publishing age.
Right.
But she's really, really, like a Dynamite fan. And to kind of see her, we talked about the fact that I'm a Dynamite fan, and I got to actually be here. And she's a longtime Dynamite fan, and she actually gets to be on the covers.
Right.
We sort of found like a weird common bond that way or whatever. So I just wanted to say, all the cosplayers we have covers on, definitely shout out to them. There's a ton of work. But Rachel Holland has sort of, reach the top in terms of Dynamite comic covers. She does a bunch of other stuff too. She signed with a couple con promoters or whatever. You can go find her. It's usually Faces by Rachie on various, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. And she has a ton of other projects going on. Special books. She does special editions. She does a bunch of recreations,
Right.
like Spider-Gwen and stuff like that. So, you might want to check it out a little bit. I just wanted to take a second because I'm looking at this, and even me reading the Dynamite books every week, like if she's not on a cover, I'm like, that's weird. And that's how used to her I am being on like every cover year after year after year. And I just thought this was a great time to just take a minute. Gracie the Cosplay Lass, Ireland Reed, several others as well. I'm not going to take up the whole show. Go check out their stuff on Instagram in particular. Check out their websites. They have all kinds of cool stuff that they sign and model photos or whatever.
Yep.
That's like a crazy growth industry now.
All right.
One of my favorites, Mia, Anna Mia. So check her out.
Anna Mia's another one.
Hold
Thank
that
you.
thought. We got to go to our first break because John just kept rambling on.
Anna Mia wrote a Betty Page.
And then we have a little surprise for Robbie after we come back. All right, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
According to a statistic that I just made up, people spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone just by tuning into The Experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below. Did you know that every Experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out. Twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code. Do you remember what it was like when you were a little kid and you got a letter in the mail? Now imagine that letter was filled with information about your favorite shows, pop culture questions, links to things you're going to want to see later, and even sneak peeks at upcoming programming here on The Experience. That's what the EXP mailing list is. Every week, we send you sneak peeks, information, and all of the relevant links for all of the shows you want to see. Sign up now on our website or scan the QR code that's on your screen right now.
You just finished the last episode of your favorite new show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh. Keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wickline Show on The Experience. Comic Culture and Sales.
All right, we're back. And no surprise to anyone, Nick has asked me to ask everyone to hit the thumbs up.
I know, right?
Okay.
Hit the like button. Yeah,
So-
somebody put in, I think it was TJ James.
DVB, what's up, bud?
Rachel's name, Rachel Holland, Hollon.
Yeah.
You can find her on a bunch of the different social media platforms. Anna Mia is actually in in one of the adverts. She's one of the cosplay covers for Betty Page. She's done that. She wrote Betty Page, and she's got another project that's sort of in the works. Not much has been said about it yet, but she's someone who wants to transition into the creative side. Her and I have talked a little bit. She would really like to get into writing, writing more, because a lot of these people realize, it's almost like anyone who makes their living through physicality, right? There's only a certain, you have a shelf life. Football players, baseball players, they've only got so much time and then they're done. People that start doing this, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, they're looking to do something else. Rachel Holland, for example, what she's looking to do is get into the event organizer, con organizer side of things. She's been working with a couple Comics Elite, and she's been working with someone else, sort of, like learning the business of putting cons together. Her and I had a conversation one time about.
So Clayton J saw her at Comics Elite in Indiana.
Yeah, she was at the MegaCon when I was down there, but every time I managed to make my way through that crazy crowd to her booth, she had stepped away. So I didn't actually get to see what's up to her. But Mia's been on my show multiple times. She's a sweetheart, and everybody needs to support everything she does, especially if it's related to Dynamite.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see the fact that they're kind of moving. They've been on a lot of covers, and now they're growing. It's not like someone just takes a picture and slaps it on there. These are people that are invested in comics. They're invested in Dynamite.
So I want to mention that, unbeknownst to us, we found out when the CBCA awards came out.
Robbie's nominated again?
That Robbie was, of course, nominated.
Of course he was.
Comics with Bueller was nominated. Our buddy AR Comics.
The official nominees, the official nominations are on Friday. That's when those get revealed.
Right. The finalists, I believe, correct?
Yes, the finalists.
Yes. I believe that's the way they worded. No, Marcus, they did not add the smell category. Thank God. But strangely enough, it must have been John's wife at John's insistence.
What? You think my wife knows about this show?
Oh, she so doesn't care. You're out of the house.
I just hope you're at a bar, is all she says.
So it turns out we were nominated. No. Okay, we were.
By who?
I don't know. That's the question. That's why I pointed out to your wife.
Whoever nominated.
When I told John was convinced it was the mutton chops. So now.
Oh yeah, I mean, if there's any redeeming value to this show, it's
John will be going to the salon tomorrow to make sure that the mutton chops are coiffed and properly trimmed for the final finish. So Robbie, PCP, you may have some competition here because I don't see you pulling off the mutton chops, bro.
I actually had someone ask me that. Like, did you ever dye your mutton chops? And I'm like, what? Yeah, dude, it would be cool if they were like white. And I'm like,
they're already white.
I was gonna say, just give it time.
Make them jet black.
They're already. I know, right?
Okay, come on, dude. You got to man up, dude. You got to step up. Okay. All right, we're facing Rock and Robbie, dude.
I've had these since probably the 11th grade. And
we need you to step up. We need you to reach deep down.
There's a time where I had the chop stash.
I can recommend some balms if you need, John. Just so you know, I can recommend some stuff.
You're 0-2 at the plate. We need you to come through, bud. This is the World Series.
One of my buddies has like the Civil War general type beard, and he's like, "You want to try some of my beer products?" I'm like, dude, please. You know what I'm still like an Ivory Soap man. Back up.
TJ, I have no idea how that would ever happen. Lifetime achievement, don't see it. But thank you for saying so.
I was nominated for Lifetime Achievement like 2 years ago, and I was like, bras, like, I'm only 40. Like, there's still plenty of time, man. Bueller, I think, won it. I think Bueller won it last year.
He did. He mentioned it. He did.
Yeah.
He did. So
pop-up cup.
What?
It's the pop-up cup. It's for people who've seen like Jim Steranko live.
I just never thought that people would find two old guys and a middle-aged guy talking about nothing that anyone would find that in any way interesting. So
7 seasons of Seinfeld. So
Yeah, I got to be
Robbie's
honest.
still a young man with like a future. Us,
Don't get crazy, okay? He's not a young man. He's younger than us, but that doesn't make him a young man, okay? By any stretch of the imagination. All right. So please, I'm not that old. Well, yeah, I am actually.
what are you talking about?
Yeah, I can see. Depends, Stevie B. Yeah, I can see social.
What's
security
40
from
in comic years?
I don't know. It's a weird thing though when you're into comics, when all of a sudden you're a kid and you look up, you're like, oh, Spider-Man and Batman, they're adults, and now I'm like, man, Spider-Man and Batman, I'm older than them.
Oh yeah, I find
I'll tell you. I saw something on the internet today, which is very
I
scary.
appreciate Jay Garrick more and more every year.
Okay, so the actor that played Wesley Crusher, what was his name?
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton is 51 years old today.
Mhm.
When Star Trek The Next Generation started, Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, was 47.
Yeah.
I wish people would stop putting that crap on the internet.
See, here's the
really
problem.
makes me feel old.
One of the guys I talk to all the time, he's a writer for Bleacher Report. He's written a few novels. Jonathan Snowden, his name, huge comic book fan. He's one of those people like me that thinks of the 80s as 20 years ago. And we constantly have to be reminded that the 80s was 40 years ago.
Whoa, time out. All right. So Lyle. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry to hear that.
What's going on with Lyle? Did I miss something?
Yeah. Jay, if you could flash that up.
Yikes.
Oh, Lyle, I am so sorry to hear that, man. I know those fires are still burning and but it's not on the forefront of everybody of the news right now because the air's been pretty clear. I mean, we've had some really nice days or, blue skies, clouds, that kind of thing. But, you watch the news and I knew that.
Well, the news now tends to be Hawaii, Maui,
yeah.
and now California experiencing their first.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a hurricane. I think they downgraded it to a tropical storm. But friends I talk to all the time in California are like, wait, you get this all the time? I'm like, oh, yeah.
No, they got like the hurricane going on, right? They're like earthquake.
Yeah, they had a small earthquake.
They had like a 5-point-something earthquake, and
I know that when we did the show with Bueller, it was very hazy because of the fires in the background.
It's crazy because he's still up in the Northwest right now, right? It is crazy. Like I think a couple years ago, those fires were like right at the river behind his house. And he was sending me pictures, and it was like in Gotham City out there or something.
Well,
Red skies
Lyle, I mean, it's got to be pretty serious if Lyle was flown out, by a military.
56,000 people evacuated. That's ridiculous. That's nuts.
That's crazy. So, Lyle, please stay safe.
My thoughts are with you.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
maybe
we're a little bit of a distraction.
Yeah, maybe. Well, we're nothing but a distraction to everybody that watches. But we are one big, massive distraction. But yeah, that's horrible to hear. So sorry to interrupt you. I just saw that.
No, I didn't realize that. I'm glad you said something. Well, there was a scientist on TV, and she was saying that we're going to have to get used to that going forward. We're just going to have to get used to these sort of weather-related, crazy sort of things, fires, and everything has been dialed up. Like people in Australia are used to the continent trying to kill them. We're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Australia periodically has all this kind of crazy stuff, and I guess they just kind of learn to deal with it. Apparently we're going to have to do the toughen up Buttercup thing because they don't. They're talking about that they don't have the resources, they don't have the trained people. I'm just glad people are staying out of harm's way.
All right, so let's do the last two sign books, and then we'll hop to the incentives. And then John Spilios, buckle up, buddy. I got more of the DC Comic Presents and some Detective Comics as well coming up tonight.
Nice.
All right, so Project Superpowers Chapter 2, number 1, signed by Jay Lee. It is number 16 of the edition signed. The suggested retail of $49.99. And tonight we have it for $19.99.
That reminds me, it's been several weeks since I asked Nick for more Project Superpowers. Although, seeing as how he's giving me some of Vampirella, I can't really complain.
You should send an email. Not to me, though.
I think Wednesday is Vampirella and the Superpowers 3 or 4, I think.
All right. Next up, we have A versus X. Uncanny X-Men number 12, signed in silver by Greg Land. All right, John Spilios, you got it, buddy. All right. Signed by Greg Land, suggested retail of $69.99. And it is one of our 5-star at $50 books. It is number 2 of only 10 signed in the edition.
John's really picking stuff up tonight, man.
Nice. He is, bud. All right. And
spoilers, by the way, I do believe Ben won this fight, which I'm happy for as a Fantastic Four fan.
Thank you, spoiler man.
I hate to say it, but you know what?
That book came out 10 years ago, Rex. Come on.
I'll tell you who the narrator reminds me of.
I just watched Terminator Genesis. Okay.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Oh my god,
dude! I really enjoyed that movie right up until the end. Like, what the hell were they doing?
I had never seen that one, and my homie is in it. I have a homie who's in it.
Mess it up. It is actually a really good movie, and then the end comes, and it's like. It felt like teenagers having a party in their parents' house, and the parents are home and nobody expects them home. Oh, clean it up, and then they just closed it, and so many things were left like open ended. I was just like, what the? Are you kidding me with this?
The thinking is at the time. You always got to put these things in the time, right? The thinking at the time was, we're going to use this to relaunch the franchise, and they just refused to understand. The franchise worked because of the time it started.
Was John Connor Matt Smith?
No, Matt Smith was Skynet.
Wait, which Matt Smith part wouldn't I like? I'm confused.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't help you out.
Maybe you should go home and watch it again, and we'll talk next week.
Oh, dude, I can't.
Can you think of another?
No, I can't.
Can you think of another franchise that was so dominant, like Terminator and Terminator 2 are like milestones in cinema, right? Especially like popcorn cinema, right?
Yeah.
They've never been able to do anything afterwards. They've never, I don't know. I guess you could argue Aliens like that. You could argue that. You know what I'm saying? Like none of the Alien films outside of the first two ever really hit.
I think it's possible to kind of repeat that with Alien. I don't think a Terminator is a time and a place in Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I really
the further you move away from that, it's just not that great.
But I really
Alien,
think
I think they could.
No, I really think they really kind of had an opening for it, but then they screwed it up at the ending. That's what killed it. I felt like the storyline as it was coming along was good. Yeah. But then your ending totally sucked.
I'm one of those dudes who actually thinks Salvation was pretty solid. Like, I actually liked that one. I thought that one was fine. But then, I don't know, like three's not good, but it's funny. At least, like, if you watch that movie, it's hilarious. It's unintentionally hilarious.
It made money, and people were able to say, check that out. The governor of my state is in a movie. That was sort of like the whole push there, right? They made money.
Right.
And, it was a nice way at the time, because Arnold was going to take a break because he's going to be the governor of California, is a nice way to kind of close out that part of the franchise and send Arnold off with a nice big check. Because
they just left it too open, dude.
Terminator 3 was probably the least successful critically, but financially, Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, I bought a plane with that money.
Yeah, low hit. Yeah. With all those IPs, that comic book would probably cost $400 an issue by the time it's all said and done.
Well, we talk about IPs a lot, and we've been talking about movies a lot. Obviously, this might be a good chance to jump into Blue Beetle really fast before we get back to the books. I've seen Blue Beetles Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I didn't see it today. So I've seen it 4 times. People who don't like the movie, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's a comic book movie. I enjoyed it. I went to see it 4 times, and that's not even the version of Blue Beetle I wanted to see. I wanted to see like a Dan Jurgens Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. I wasn't going to get that, but I still enjoyed the movie. It doesn't stop me from enjoying the comic.
I hear good things about the movie. I haven't seen it yet, right? But I hear good things about the movie, and I hear that I can never remember his name, but I call him Miguel because he's in Cobra Kai. But I hear he is fantastic in the movie.
He really is. This is a Saffron Films picture, and if you're going to kind of put a softball out there, just kind of put a balloon up, as they say, this was a good one. It wasn't super heavy into, telling all these stories or whatever.
Right.
It did manage to unseat Barbie at the box office.
Box office was considered a failure.
The bad news
25 million. Yeah.
Barbie's been out for like a month and a half. So they had to struggle to beat a movie 6 weeks in, and they barely did it with a push.
Yeah.
That's not great.
So, but again,
we got to be honest, though. Yeah, me and Rex have talked about this, but like none of us were ever expecting Blue Beetle to be a big success at all.
Well, more than that, I think that when we talked about it before, you have to adjust how you measure failure and success these days, and that's what I think is the key. Because again, Elemental was considered an absolute disaster of a failure, but now slowly but surely it's turning those numbers over. And
Elemental's got some.
I really don't think that opening weekend box office is necessarily the best measure anymore, and you really have to consider.
I'll tell you what I think you're seeing in the movies now, and what struck me today was, today I went to see. I met a friend for lunch, and we went and we saw the Meg 2 again. A terrible movie. It's a movie you just go after you have lunch and hang out for a while. However bad you think the Meg 2 looks, I guarantee you it's worse.
Yeah, nobody does that, John.
It's terrible.
Nobody does that. Nobody goes and has lunch during a weekday.
We're trying to drag out Shark Week a little bit longer.
I'm just saying, John, nobody goes to lunch during a weekday and says, you know what, I'll go catch a movie. Most of us don't do that, okay?
I don't know what to say. Dude, you work at a comic book company. It's like one step away from working at Disney World.
Which I hear is an awful place to work.
Which is also an awful place to work.
All right.
But I want to say, Robbie brought this up again, and I want to make sure Robbie gets his props here. Robbie talked about IPs and how even if necessarily comic book movie IPs might be on the downswing, IPs in general are on the upswing. Most of the stuff I saw in the previews was The Exorcist, new movie. Nun 2, The Conjuring universe. I didn't see a whole lot that was what you would call unique. I saw a third thing too, and I can't think of the name of it now, but it's from like another universe. So what happens is you get one thing that works, and they just stick to it now because people remember it, right? And I think, you know what I mean? You're sort of looking at, there's all this talk out there. We're going to have more aliens. We're going to have more Predator. We're going to have, more of the stuff, comics, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm watching what they're talking about in the movie, Tito. And they want me to come back because Ellen Burstyn, quality actor, she's been in a lot of stuff, probably best known for The Exorcist, maybe one or two other movies, but I'll say well-known. She's back in that movie. They tried to approach this idea once before with Linda Blair, and it didn't work out. And Linda Blair admitted it in an interview. She's like, I'm not that person anymore. She's like, I couldn't tap into Ray. I couldn't do it.
She's also like, I made Exorcist 2. I'll never go back and do that stuff again because that movie's terrible.
I'm good. And then they tried, I think on Fox, they tried an Exorcist TV show.
Yeah.
And it was, I don't think it was successful enough to keep doing it.
As much as I do, like, for instance, I love The Exorcist 3. But that's that's a movie that should just be its own thing. And I do not trust this new one because it's David Gordon Green, the guy who just butchered Halloween for 3 movies in a row.
I'm not going to say you're wrong, but my point here is that Robbie was right when he said, I think a while back he said, IPs are here to stay. You're going to keep seeing that. I think that everybody was like, I want to see new stuff. Yes, in a perfect world, we would be seeing new creative stuff. I don't think it gets any money. It doesn't get any traction. So when me and Rex are sitting there and we got to give somebody $150 million, are we going to give it to somebody with an idea that we don't know anything about? Or are we going to give it to, another Top Gun movie or whatever? And you always wind up going with the two things that are going to stay with us are IPs and the multiversing of stuff.
Huh. Well, we may see some change next year because with the writers and the actors strike, The only thing we're going to get to see is A24 and independent films. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see what happens then.
See, I'm not going to complain about that. I love A24. I haven't seen everything they've done. Most of what I've seen, a couple of the things Robbie recommended, they're great. I'm very, very happy with what they did.
All right, let's throw some of the incentives out there before we've got to go to break. All right, so first up, we have Alpha Flight Volume 5, number 1, 150 ratio by Art Adams. Retailer incentive, trading for 100, and we have it for 80.
That is a very cool cover.
I love
I've ever seen this character.
Yeah, I love everything Art Adams does. Like everything. Yeah. And then like if you follow him on Instagram, he posts up the black and whites, the process as he's working on it.
Yeah.
Stunning stuff.
All right, next up we have Death of the Venomverse, number 2, 110 ratio, Gabriel Dell'Otto, trading for 15 out in the wild, and we've got it for 10.
Symbiote 6, baby.
I mean, these are things now that they come out, they printed. Instantly, I start seeing, these crazy things. Like people, like in the Twitter comics group, somebody was offering this for like $30. And I'm like, hold on a second. It was $15 this morning.
Right.
I said, I'm not an expert, but, being here, I know a little bit about comic prices. And this should not be $30.
If y'all don't think that Sony's one day going to do a Venomverse movie, y'all were not paying attention to what John just said.
Exactly.
All right, next up we have Death of Venomverse number 2.
Nice.
150 Gabriel Dell'Otto ratio. This is the Virgin variant of the same cover. Trading out in the wild for 75, and we have it for 50 tonight.
Man.
All right. Next up, we've got Death of the Venomverse number 2, 1/100 Derek Chu Virgin variant. Trading out in the wild for 125, and we've got it for 100. Mill Skills. Let me see. Hold on, buddy. Dude, I don't know if I can come down that far. 50. Might let me see.
Robbie and I will be back after these messages.
Might be able to do for 60, buddy, but I can't go down as far as 50.
I was gonna say 79.99 would be the best we could do. So
what did I say? 60?
Yeah, I was just saying we can knock a penny down.
There you go.
I love this cover too. This is nice. Nice tongue.
Yeah. All right. Death of Venomverse number 2, 1/100 ratio, Derek Chu version. Trading out in the wild for 125, and we've got it for 100.
I like how Jay's worried about the proportions on the thighs, but doesn't say anything about the
character whose mouth is literally like this.
But the thighs are disproportionate.
I hate to say it, but his thighs are like prime 90s Image thighs.
All right.
Everybody can deadlift like 1,700 pounds with no sweat.
All right. So next up we have not a problem, Mill Skills. It's good, buddy. All right. So next up we got Spider-Man volume number 4, issue number 11, 1/100 ratio, Peach Momoko variant.
Of course.
Trading out there for 125, and we've got it for 100.
There's something about the white sole on the boot that just makes this so.
Yeah, it does. It's different, isn't it?
Yeah, just like Gabriel Dell'Otto. That's like a book when you're kind of scanning through the shelves. You stop, you see one of his covers. I love that. That almost semi-realistic style is just very cool.
All right, next up we have Uncanny Avengers Volume 4, number 1, 1/100, Alex Ross connecting Avengers sketch virgin cover. Trading for 100, and we have it for 80 tonight.
Ooh, that might go missing.
All right. Next up, we've got Uncanny Avengers Volume 4, number 1, 1/100, Alex Ross connecting X-Men sketch virgin cover. Trading out in the wild for 100, and we have it for 80 tonight.
It's so cool that Alex Ross is recreating that Jim Lee X-Men number 1 cover. I think it's dope.
That's just wild when like legends decide to just, hey, you know what? Why don't you do something of mine and I'll do something of yours? I'm looking forward to this.
All right. Then we have Uncanny Avengers Volume 4, number 1, 1/100 ratio, George Perez version. Love this one. Trading out in the wild for 100, and we have it tonight for 60.
This almost looks like a little bit of riff. I mentioned him earlier. This almost looks a little bit like the version of Steranko Captain America pinup he did.
All right. So
especially with that design in the background.
Yeah, I remember like a Captain America. It's like the flag and the stars, and they're kind of coming out or whatever.
all right, last one. What if Dark Moon Knight number 1/150 ratio, David Mack variant. Trading out in the wild for 75, and we've got it for 60. Give Jay a minute.
Oh, usually I see that, John.
There it is.
There it is.
Gorgeous. Oh my goodness.
So trading for 75, and we have it for 60. All right. So
I got a David Mack story to tell you when we get back from break.
Oh, all right. Well, we got to go to break, and when we come back, we'll do a quick Rex cap of everything we covered. Then we will get
Detective Comics. We got more DC.
We've got DC Presents and Detective Comics coming up after that. All right. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Programming on the EXP is made possible by viewers like you, or your local comic shop, or that Kickstarter you backed, or the publisher you like, or comic industry professionals who want to share a message with the world. Really, anyone who wants to advertise with us can. If you're interested in seeing a product you know and love, or are creating, or are publishing, or are involved with, advertised here on The Experience, and having your message shared with our viewers, please reach out by scanning the QR code below or visiting our website and using the contact form. You know how when you go to Comic-Con, after Comic-Con, you go to the hotel bar, and there's a whole bunch of people playing music and dancing, and you've got Pikachu and Lara Croft Tomb Raider doing the cha-cha slide just down from Deadpool and Batman and Wonder Woman? That's every Saturday night over on the Experience Twitch channel. Join Taji Beats for the EXP Dance Party, exclusively on Twitch, twitch.tv/the_EXP.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey. And behind every page, there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
And we are back. I know Robbie's frozen.
We are back.
Hey. Hi, Robbie.
Real Amy is
Hey,
here.
Amy. How are you?
It must be grading sweeps week.
Okay.
We have Amy.
All
I
right.
wanted to say hi to everyone. Make sure everything's going good. No major derailments.
Well,
Please like the video. Fill out your form.
Yeah. Mike, I got you, buddy.
Some of you still don't do it.
Remind us on the form, the submission form.
I love the ones who do, thank you. But the ones who don't, come on.
Oh, I thought she was
Hint,
going to have
wink,
a different blank keyword. But
all right, let's do the Rex cap. All right, thank you,
The
Jay.
Rex cap already?
Yeah.
Can I tell this David Mack story real quick first, Rex?
Yeah, go.
Do you mind? All right. So this is my very first big con experience. Was in 2002. I went to what was then Wizard World in Chicago, right? And David Mack was working on Daredevil with Brian Michael Bendis for that story, Wake Up, which is amazing. That led me into checking out his work on Kabuki. So I was very excited to meet him. And he was a super sweetheart. He was so kind and nice. So I went and met my homies, and I was like, hey, you got to come meet David Mack. He's super cool. So we go back around, and David Mack, quite a looker, okay? So we go back, and all of a sudden, there's like 10 women sitting around him, and he's just playing an acoustic guitar. That's how cool David Mack is, y'all, just so you know.
Were the women trying to sniff him?
I think they were.
Sniffing is creeping me out, Snuffleupagus.
He's the one that does it.
We're back on this, Rex? Really?
Does anybody think that would be normal in say, the Target? Okay, come on, guys. All right.
I can't wait to sniff you, Rex.
What?
I said I can't wait to sniff you and the Rex cap. I'm going to
I'll
smell
make sure
your
I'm
hat.
ready. I'll make sure I'm ready. I won't shower for a week.
Oh, no. Amy's going to have to take over the next hour.
Thank you, Clayton
No.
J. Thank you.
Oh.
The voice of reason, finally. All right. The Rex cap. Here we go. Dynamite 10-back reader set. 10 random Dynamite titles. $3.99 cover price or higher.
Did the CCAs go?
Most of them did.
Most
yes.
of them did.
Awesome.
Did the Spider-Man one go? The
It
Spider-Man?
did not. It did not yet. As always, we have it for $5. All right. Then we had Suicide Squad King Shark #1 signed by Tim Seeley. It's just a retail of $49.99. It is a best offer book starting at $10. There are no offers on this book as of the moment. And then we had, yeah, right. A versus X, Uncanny X-Men #12, signed in silver by our buddy Greg Land. Suggested retail of $69.99. It's #2 of only 10 signed in the edition.
You mean Greg Land from Marvel Apes fame?
You got it, Clayton. Thanks, buddy, for opening it up for us, man. All right. So where was I? A versus X. Okay. Suggested retail of $69.99. We have it as a 5-star for $50 book. Then we had, let me see. Then we had Edge of Spider-Verse #1, signed with Spider-Boy cover sketch by Ken Haeser.
I love the way Ken does lenses.
Huh?
I love the way Ken does lenses.
Yeah, I do too. Suggested retail of $99.99, and we have it for $62.19. All right. Then we had Death of Venomverse #2, 1:10 ratio, Gabriel Delato variant. Suggested retail $15, and we've got it for $10. Yeah. All right. And then we had Death of Venomverse #2, 150 ratio, Gabriel Delato Virgin variant. Trading for $75. We have it for $50 tonight. Then we had Death of Venomverse #2, 1:100 ratio, Derek Chu Virgin variant, trading for $125, and we have it for $100 tonight.
Can't chew with that tongue.
All right, not with those size. So then we had Spider-Man Volume 4, #11, 1:100 ratio. It's the Peach Momoko variant, trading for $125, and we have it for $100. Then we had Uncanny Avengers Volume 4, #1, 1:100, Alex Ross Connecting Avengers sketch Virgin cover, trading for $100, and we have it for $80 tonight. And then we have Uncanny Avengers Volume 4, #1, 1:100, Alex Ross Connecting X-Men sketch cover, sketch Virgin cover, trading for $100, and we've got it for $80. And then Uncanny Avengers Volume 4, #1, 1:100 ratio, George Perez Virgin variant, trading for $100, and we have it for $60.
I just found the Steranko version of that. That's not quite the same. I'm not even sure if it informed it or not, but there's a lot of similarities to it, especially the Cascade of Stars,
Right.
the flipping the color.
Hey, Duelist 57, thanks for joining us, man. And then finally, What If Dark Moon Knight, Moon Knight #1, 150 ratio, David Mack variant, trading for 75, and we've got it for 60. Well,
That is
since
such a
Amy's in
gorgeous
here,
cover.
you want to help her? Do you have to bolt out her? Because if you have to bolt out, John has to write, and I have to do the
Yeah, Amy, stick around. Stick around, Amy, please. Go
So
on.
survey says they want you to stick around, but it's up to you.
I do have to film a promo really
Vox
fast.
Populi. You can only carry this company for so long. I'm sorry.
It's like Arnold said at the end of Predator. Stick around.
Let me go take care of something real quick, and I'll come right back. All right.
All right, fair enough.
Remember to like the video and fill out your forms.
Well, should we get started on DC Comic Presents? You're gonna have to do the writing until Amy comes back.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we're starting with. Oh, there is no 92 today, or 82 rather. So cross that out. Jay, there is no 82. Not doesn't matter. See, but
This is my new favorite thing.
They're all generic, so there's no titles or numbers.
Oh,
Yeah. Correct. All right. So, let's see. I don't know what this one.
This collection y'all have picked up that we've been showing for the last few weeks is like one of my favorite new bits on this show because like
oh yeah, this
is my childhood right here, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness.
According to you, there's no 82, so the next thing you should be showing is DC Comics 83.
Nope. Those were removed.
I think we're gonna get to I think my very first comic book might be in this box show.
Let me ask you a
Hey,
question.
when we did,
no.
When we did Airwave last week, I was happy. Almost no one remembers that version.
83,
of
right?
Airwave. Yes.
All right. So DC Comic Presents. John still there? Big John Spilios. All right. So we have number 83, and we've got this one for 10, right?
TJ James already claimed it.
All right. TJ, 83 is yours.
Is there anyone
Right
where you want me
below,
to write
right
this?
below what I scratched out.
No, where do you want me to write who bought it? Just over there?
Just over there.
Mills, you're right. It was the first act, not the end of Predator. You're right. Stick around because he says it when he sticks the guy with. Didn't he get stuck with an arrow or something? I don't know. I don't remember.
All right. So then we have DC Comic Presents number 84, Superman and Challengers of the Unknown.
Oh,
And we've got this one for 8. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure my price correspond with yours.
Who did that cover? Is that very Kirby-esque? Is that a Kirby cover?
I was just saying, is that a Kirby cover?
So John Spilios is claiming 84.
So I guess it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter.
84?
Correct. So I just want to make sure my prices do correspond to it. Right?
You said 83, 84?
Yeah. So 8, yeah.
Got Kirby art and cover on that book. John, I'm so mad.
Why it's not? Okay, got it. All right.
At these prices, you're practically giving it all away. Here, let me see this real quick before we continue.
Knife in the chest. Thank you. I just watched that movie like 3 weeks ago. And I
That's
don't
a
know why I
Kirby
remember
cover.
that.
Kirby,
Yeah.
and it looks
It's-
like
Kirby
Gracie-
does the art. I just looked it up. Kirby does the art inside. I didn't even know that. I have to look
All
at my
right.
shop. I might have 3 of them.
Now we have a Spider-Man and Swamp Thing DC Comics Presents. This is number 85.
And I think this is Alan Moore, right?
And
Yes,
we've got this
I do
one
believe
for,
so.
For 10.
Preston's already claimed it.
85.
Stick around.
I would suggest you watch Terminator Genesis, though. It's worth a watch. Even
Maybe
though
after Horror Fest.
it was a horrible ending, but also the movie, and then they did the who cares, Jack? Then they did what they did, and I'm just like sitting there going, "Are you serious? You just did that to me? I enjoyed your whole movie right up until this crappy ending. Come on, man."
I just know that one day we'll do the whole Terminator franchise on my channel.
Oh,
and we'll have
yeah.
to go through all of them. Yeah.
That would be fun, actually. All right, so now we have DC Comics Presents Superman and Supergirl number 86. And we got this one for 6.
Crisis
Thank you,
crossover.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Even Amelia Clark and Sarah Connor was good. Although she didn't. All right, John is claiming 86.
Spilio's on fire tonight, y'all.
Yeah.
He's putting that run together, man. All right, so we have 2 of these. All right, so it is DC Comic Presents number 87, Superman and Superboy. So you can see we have 2 of them. They are $25 each.
Y'all know what this is, right? That's the first appearance of Superboy Prime, who is a main factor in not just Crisis on Infinite Earths, but on Infinite Crisis as well.
So John wants one, and Clayton wants the other one.
I own an 87, just so y'all know. Love that book.
Thank you, John.
It's my dream to own every Crisis tie-in, like the physical copy, like every single one of them.
I was at a con right before the pandemic, and somebody had the entire Crisis thing in a box. It was all taped up, printout of everything that was in there. Slabs were in there. It was the whole thing, and the guy was just taking bids for it.
That's dope.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
Have you seen the box set, the hardcover box set they have? It looks great, man.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
There is no, we're 90. Is that right?
John wants 88. Have we done 88?
No, because I'm going the wrong way. That's what.
Amy.
I'll vote against this. Keep this up. All right, DC Comic presents Superman and the Creeper, number 88. And John's already claiming 88. You're lucky I found it, John. I'm just kidding.
Right.
All right, so John Spilios is claiming 88.
You know, I've been petitioning DC to bring back DC Comics Presents, and the first issue is going to have me as a guest star, and it's DC Comics Presents The Creeper and the Sniffer.
Nice.
And 88 was $10, buddy.
Yeah, it's a Keith Giffen
See you, Ron.
cover.
All right, so the next up we got Superman versus the Omega Man, number 89, and that one is $6.
And John's got it.
And John is claiming number 89.
Well,
John's typing in right now, claim 90. Claim
This
91.
is how you fill a run in, though, right?
Yes, I believe so. All right. And John Spilios and everybody else. DC Comic presents Superman and Firestorm and Captain Atom. This is number 90. And we've got this one for $8. Preston claims 90. All right, Preston, you got it, buddy. Such great penmanship.
Let me see the cover on it real quick.
The only problem working with John is got to touch every one of the claims.
No, I think this is Dennis Cowan. That's why I wanted to take a look at this.
All right. So now we've got number 91.
Oh, man.
DC Comics presents Superman. And John, I'm sorry, buddy. Preston claimed 90 ahead of you, bud. Right, Preston?
The Space War. That's what I wrote down. Preston.
Okay, cool. All right. Number 91, Superman and Captain Comet. And this one we've got for $6. All right, John Spilios is claiming 91.
That right there, Rex, that's the very first comic book I ever read.
Really?
I have my original copy still, Beat to Hell and Back. I got another one that I picked up. That was about Halley's Comet, right? Halley's Comet shows up, it's making people go crazy and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. It makes his head really big.
I love that book so much. That was it. I did a video about it on my channel. Y'all can check it out afterwards. But like,
Captain Comet was a character in DC before like the superheroes return.
Bro, my whole life I've been like, where's Captain Comet? I thought he was supposed to be a big deal.
He was Marvel. He was DC's mutant. His whole point was he was a mutant from like 100,000 years in the future.
All right, DC Comic presents Superman and Vigilante. It is number 92, and we've got it for $3. All right.
Oh,
I love that Captain
Do you have a copy of that, or is it just one of these?
I don't know. I'm the wrong person to ask. Yeah,
John wants 92.
All right, John wants 92. You got it, John? All right, and now we have Superman and the Elastic 4. Number 93, and we've got this one for $4.
I have that one too, and it's awesome. It's like DC has so many elastic characters. Why not put them all in a team, right?
John's claiming 93.
The Elastic Four. Do you get the reference there, Rex?
Like the Fantastic Four?
No, like they're all like rubber bands. They're elastic.
Yeah, they're all. It's plastic.
No, yeah, of course, it's Fantastic Four. Yeah. Exactly.
It's I guess that's what's his name. Well, that's Jimmy Olsen's Elastic Lad, and I think the fourth guy was Todd. can't think of his name now. He was Alan Scott's kid.
Todd Taffy. I don't know.
No, he was
the Taffy kid.
Names or something weird.
There was something I need to talk to you about, dude. It's been like months since I had a John Cole sandwich. Seriously.
It closed on Monday, and I'm not here the rest of the.
Yeah, I need to talk to you privately as well, John. I've been on a smash burger crave. Like just making smash burgers and stuff.
Superman and Harbinger, Lady Quark, and Pariah, number 94, which John has already claimed. This one's $5, John, just so you know.
Another essential tie-in to Crisis Events.
Is that it?
No, I'm not speaking to you anymore.
Where is Amy?
I don't get no John Cole sandwich.
John's like, Amy said she'd be right back. What's going on?
She lied.
She lied. She saw
Hey,
what was going
John
on here.
Studios. So, John, go back to all right, 95 Superman versus Hawkman. That one's $7. Hey, John, Big John, Preston says he'd see number 92 if you want it. So let us know, buddy. All right, because right now Preston has 90, but if you
God
want
forbid anybody else enjoys DC Comics Presents. It's a wonderful book.
all right. Then we got Superman and Blue Devil, number 96. Did we get 95 for John? We did.
We did.
Did we?
95 to Sean's.
Yeah. All right, so this one's 96, and we have it for $7.
Who did the cover for that?
All right, I don't know.
Let me see.
All right, I think John's claiming 96, and then I think you need to switch out Preston and John
I don't know
Spanos.
who did this off the top of my head.
I can't work like this.
What number? 96?
Yeah. I don't want to open it up because now it's what John.
All right, so number 96 is John, and then if you go back to 90, cross out
Alan Kupperberg, bruh. Alan Kupperberg.
Okay, real quick.
You
cross
said
out-
Amy's name 3
1
times.
second.
Not yours. Hold on a
Cross
second.
out Preston and put in John Spanos.
For which one?
Number 90. Preston is ceding that one to John.
That's really nice.
That's really nice.
Yeah, it is really nice.
So, just because I thought on a lot of stuff. So Friday's art show, I've been putting up a bunch of color guides. I just picked up this color guide.
Nice.
The cover color guide to see. I was about to say Crisis.
Nice.
Look at the way they used to color these.
Layer by layer, right?
Yep.
Oh, man, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I got a buddy who just bought a Steve Olaf color guide to Akira, which is mind-boggling to see.
Wow. So we're going to start the bidding at what, 10,000 for this?
Also, a cover recreation reinterpretation. By the way, the Marvel Age is not for sale. The Marvel Age is not for sale. First appearance of Secret Wars in the Marvel Age, not for sale. Historic. Fantastic Four 112. Thomas Bishop, what's up, buddy? What's up, Mike Asbell?
What?
OG color guide to Akira?
John Byrne. He is not doing recreations or much commissions anymore. And I always say, from a famous director in Hollywood now, this is Blue Line Flash. You know, I've been offering a lot of Blue Line lately, and just showing the fans, I am buying Blue Line for myself as well. So this is the only piece that will probably be available for sale on Friday.
Well, so they'll make it offer now, apparently, if I'm reading that right.
Lyle.
yeah, and Lyle just got evacuated from northern Canada.
Oh my God!
Fires, yeah.
Yeah, they evacuated 56,000 people.
Be safe, Lyle. That's the most important thing. Mike Asbell, good to see you. Everybody, good to see you. Did everybody hit that thumbs up? Feel free.
Sell all blue lines to Nick.
Sell. I'll probably buy a lot of Flash Blue Lines. I mean, check out how beautiful this is. That is so freaking awesome. Secret Origins Flash. So I thought it was cool.
All right. So
It is
sorry,
cool.
John.
Did we find out who's the artist on this cover?
Alan Kupperberg.
Okay. There was something about this issue that stuck in my head. I mean, I'm
OUG, no, that is incorrect. Lyle is actually in the oil business, so he's up in the Arctic, and resides in Canada. So I'm not sure if he was evacuated from his family
Work
home
site
or
or
his
his-
work site. I'm gonna guess if that many people. There aren't 56,000 people in the Arctic. So OUG, so you yeah. So it's a running joke because Lyle will be watching us a lot of times from work, which essentially is the frozen tundra up north. And we joke. No, John, no, we got interrupted. Hold on.
We got interrupted. We'll be
Hold
right.
on, buddy. Here we go.
We'll be right back to the DC Comics Presents run.
All right. So
Would you believe it that Nick interrupted the selling of comics?
yeah, I know.
We're trying to sell
And
comics.
then tells
here.
us, get right to it. Okay.
We have two of these.
Yes, we do.
We have two.
We have 297s, Superman and the Phantom Zone Criminals, the final chapter. Okay, and we have two, and they're going for $7 each. So mill skills, right? All right. So John Spilios, let us know. You can claim one of the 97s. Gotcha, buddy.
Does you want one?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, now we're finally getting close to the end of the run. All right, so we have DC Comic Presents Annual #1. First, Alexander Luthor, and we got it for $10.
This is his big red perm.
Yeah, this is Perm Luther.
All right, so that is #1. All right, then we have DC Comic Presents. Okay, John's claiming Annual #1. All right, then we have DC Comics Presents Annual #2. Superman introduces Superwoman, and we've got this one for $7. TJ James is. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, TJ. John Spillhill has actually beat you to it, my friend.
I've got that one, John. It's a good issue. It's great stuff.
So he's claiming Annual #2 as well. All right. So then we have DC Comics Presents
Is this Lois Lane
#3.
Superwoman? What is the Kill King cover? Wow.
So Superman and Shazam. This is #3, and we have it for $5. Okay, John Spilios is claiming #3. All right, and this should be it for the DC Comic Presents. All right. So then we have DC Comic Presents Annual #4. Superman versus and Superwoman again. And we've got this one for $5. All right, so John's claiming 4 as well. All right, so that does it for the DC. Yeah. Well, we always work something out for our buddy John Spilios, as always. All right, so we got to go to our last and final break. We're going to do that, and then we'll be back, and we'll do our run of detectives that we have left.
All these?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
What if Hans Gruber from Die Hard had to battle the Joker from Batman the Animated Series in a dance battle? Or who would win in a race between Baby from Baby Driver and Snidely Whiplash? If Austin Powers and Shrek found themselves in a hot dog eating contest, who would emerge victorious? These are the questions we talk about on Nerd Killer Warfare. Debate the most absurd questions you've ever heard in popular culture. Register now by scanning the QR code or visiting bit.ly/EXP casting.
Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales. There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
Go follow The Experience on TikTok at @the_EXP1 or scan the QR code on the screen. Our TikTok is like everywhere else we are, except you only have to deal with us for a minute. Seems like a win-win to me.
You know why the green ones aren't out here, right? I'd be wearing.
Honestly, we never got them.
Oh, I was going to
They
say
ran out.
there were green ones. I have one on every finger.
So when
Oh,
they
Robbie's
sent it to
frozen.
us,
He's doing it really good this time. That's why
that was good. That was excellent, Robbie.
As usual,
I practiced that a lot. So Rex does to me every Friday.
Yeah, difference is not on purpose.
As usual, I'm filtering through things that don't belong to me here at the office, and I came across these really cool, different colored Green Lantern rings. And one of the comments Rex made was, "It's not your color. Obviously, it's not green." And I said, "No, of course not. If we had green ones, Nick would have this under lock and key because I'd look like that Al Jordan cover where he's got one on every finger."
We never even got the green ones. We got the blues. I think there was.
I
don't even think there were yellow ones
that I got from.
Yeah, there weren't even yellow ones
from Macon. They were
so for Sinestro. So
the yellow ones I remember were very hard to get because they made less of them, but they were super popular because people loved Sinestro. Right? They thought like the blue ones were going to be popular because they were trying to do like the Blue Lantern thing. Nobody cared about that. The red and the yellow were super popular, and they made less of them.
all right, so we're gonna move to the Detective Comics run. Does yours start at 512?
You know what? Let's take a look. No, 597.
597.
Are you at the wrong end of the box?
I must be.
Yeah, it goes up to 5. It's from 597. It looks like it goes up to maybe 620.
All right, so 590.
Hey, John, real quick, while I got you on air, I love making Oklahoma onion burgers, right? Like, that's my obsession. I love making those things. I want to introduce Serrano peppers to this, right? With some pepper jack cheese. Do you think I should just, like, roast the Serranos and then add them? Or do you think I could smash them in the burger like I do the onions? I'm just curious.
Well, I'll tell you what I would do. I would probably do both. If you're doing it on a flat top, I would probably, you've got the burger and literally you're cooking the pepper right next to it in the burger fat, right? Yeah. And then when you get the kind of cook on it that you want, I tend to cook with, it's funny, I tend to cook with drywall spatulas, not real spatulas. And they're really good for this. I do a ton of smash burgers at home, and it's great to just sort of use the cheesesteak technique to go, boom, and you get them right in there, and like on the flip or whenever you want to add them. I do long hots. I do Oklahoma smash burgers with onions, red onions, and green long hots. and I kind of cook them right next to it in the burger fat or whatever. It works really well. I mean, you have to do it once or twice to just get used to it a little bit, the technique. But this way, you get both the cooking with the burger under the cheese, if people buy cheese, and you also get the grill cooked in beef fat flavor.
Nice.
I think that's probably the best you can do. Unless you want to start doing, like people in New Mexico, they're blistering hatch chilies, and that's like a different process. But if you just want to get a really nice like pepper flavor in a smash burger, that's probably the easiest way to do it.
Can you make me
Thank
one?
you for that.
Do we have a grill here?
Ain't a problem. All right. Starting with $5.97.
We're good now. $5.97.
All right.
Thank you,
Detective
John.
Comics, number $5.97. And if you're curious how to make a Carolina smash burger, is that what you called it?
It's an Oklahoma smash burger.
Oklahoma smash.
Oklahoma.
I've never had one. But
The best burger out there, bro. Best burger out there. I'm telling you.
Smash burgers are having a moment. Burgers are one of those things that go from really thin to really big and then to really thin again. And that's because there's no wrong way to have a burger.
All right. You know what, OUG? Let me look. I don't think so. Do we have a 737? Like a 737 on the list?
On this list, I don't think so.
I doubt it.
It goes up to 620. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, OUG. When Screech gets back, I will ask a question.
Screech.
But we do have $5.97.
Alex is going to be our
For
boss. No, that's not
$5.
true. Amy's the boss, but he'll be our immediate supervisor. And Amy will be the boss.
All right. Next up, we have Detective Comics number $5.98. And we've got this one for $5.
No one cares about Batman. Give more Superman.
I got what I got.
I know. He was explaining to me this is just like a massive collection Nick wants.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Detective Comics number $5.99. And we got this one for $5.
This is a great run.
Clayton J is claiming $5.99.
You guys are freezing a little bit, at least on my end. Now you're good. This is a great run. Didn't it artwork? You got Sam Hamm was the writer of that last one we talked about, who wrote the Batman movie. That's awesome stuff. Lyle's looking for Detective 27. Do we have one of those in that box, Rex?
There's 4 of them actually. Do you want?
No.
We're starting the bidding at the keys to one comic book store. One.
I heard they're doing a Batman movie, so maybe that's one to invest in.
I might have a little
You heard
legs. You
that,
never
did
know.
you? All right. Next, we have Detective Comics number 600. And we got this one for $5.
It's like a famous artist cover or something. For some reason, this rings a bell.
No, I don't know. Some dude.
It's some dude. That's really like Todd McFarlane. He's like some dude.
The cover is Dennis Cowan and Malcolm Jones III, who was one of the inkers on Sandman. So, yeah, it's awesome. Dennis Cowan, co-creator of The Flash. I met him last year. He did a really great question. Did I say question, right? He did a really great question sketch in my omnibus. Super cool dude.
All right. Next up, we have Batman or Detective Comics number 601. And we've got this one for $5 as well. Duelist 57.
Duelist?
Yep. So Duelist, remember to hit the submission form. Very important. Jay will put it up. Make sure to include your email address, your ship to address, and your real name. And he is also claiming 601.
See some love for Norm Brayfogle in the chat. This is where he starts right here, if I remember correctly, right? But like he's on 601 or whatever. Clayton wants 604.
Clayton wants 604. All right, hold on a second, buddy.
Is there 604? Because I'm seeing on here.
You know what? There is not. I'm
No,
sorry.
that might be one of those ones on the way to
Clayton.
CGC.
Right? And actually, it turns out we have another 601.
Nice. That's a run I've been thinking about piecing together, was the Norm Brayfogle stuff. Like, his art is so freaking good, y'all.
All right. So we do have another 601. And looks like we do have. All right, 602.
Norm Brayfogle is one of those guys when you're having one of those around the bar with your friends artist conversations, you think you've kind of touched everything, and then someone brings that up. Like someone comes back with like the beers, and they're like, "Are we on Norm Brayfogle?" I was like, "Oh, Norm."
Hated that we lost him recently too.
All right, so next up we have Detective Comics 602. All right, so we have this one for $5 as well.
You know, at this point, Alan Grant had taken over past 600, but the ones right before that we were talking about, written by Sam Hamm, who wrote the Batman movie. Can you think of a time when we had a major movie out and the writer of that movie was writing the comic book character that movie is based on? I don't know if that's ever happened.
So
that was just sort of a
Duelist 57 is claiming 602.
Like Richard Donner eventually did some Superman comics, but it was
That's
like
what I was gonna say.
20 years later. You know what I'm saying? So,
all right, next up we got Detective Comics number 606. We got this one for $4. All right, then we have Detective Comics number 607. And we have this one for $4 as well. All right, Duelist is claiming 603.
607, you mean?
Hey, Duelist, are you 603 or?
There wasn't a 603. It went from 602 to
I'm
607.
sorry. Yeah, you're right. There was no 603 there, Duelist. Clayton J is claiming 608, Howard. Which I've shown you. All right. You guys.
maybe we should start this whole thing where you go, we got some issues from this one to this one. What would you like to claim?
I know, right?
All right. So we got 608, Clayton J. You got it, buddy. We do have 608, and it is $5. Okay.
No, it goes up to 611. Yeah, there's gaps in here. I don't know if stuff is went to
there are
CGC
some
or
gaps. So, Duelist, let us know. We did not have a 603. It's okay, buddy. All right. So then we have Detective Comics 611, and this one is $4.
You know, we talk a lot about what Alan Grant was doing at this title, Sam Hamm before him, Norm Brayfogle. Todd, I just looked this up. Todd Klein was the letterer of all of these issues. Like Todd Klein's might be the most important letterer in comic book history, to be honest. So that's pretty dope.
He's the Forrest Gump of letterers.
Mill Skills, X-Men 101. All right. So next up we have Detective Comics number 615, and we've got this one for $4. All right. So then we have Detective Comics number 616, and we have this one for $4.
You should have given you 3 Red Bulls so you could have been more like Screech.
I don't want to be more like Screech. Thank you. All right. Then we have Detective Comics number 617. And we've got this one for $4 as well. All right. Then we have Detective Comics number 618. And we've got this one for $4. All right. Last one tonight. Batman number 620. And we've got this one for $4.
That's a famous cover right there because they just, for Night Terrors, that's coming out this week, Derek Robertson, artist of The Boys, which I'm sure y'all are familiar with, The Boys, did an homage to that cover, which was pretty cool.
Clayton J is claiming 618
620.
and 620, correct. All right. Cool. That does it for the Detective Comics.
Nice.
All right.
Get this shipped out by 9 tonight, right?
Thank you, sir. You have excellent penmanship.
Well, the line was so small, man. It was like doing a crossword puzzle.
577. Hold on, Lyle. Let me look. Let me look, Lyle. Let me look for you, buddy. We did have some earlier ones.
When you're doing inventory for the Green Lantern rings, make sure you randomly charge one of our viewers for this one. So
you bring me a John Cole sandwich, and that ring can disappear forever.
you know what? This really isn't the season for John Cole sandwiches. I mean, they're still selling some of them, but no,
what kind of crap are you talking about?
Summer is much more cold sandwich.
Lyle, I'm sorry, buddy. We do not have 577. TJ, I don't know actually. We gotta wait until Screech gets back next week. So if there are round guy, were you supposed to get a ring from
what
Nick?
color?
Maybe OUG. Round guy. Hit the submission form and go ahead and tell us what you were supposed to get. We'll take care of it.
Oh, I was on a blue one, the one I'm wearing.
Lyle, that's perfect, buddy. That would work great.
Actually, you know what? That's great for Lyle, but other people too. I see OUG look for stuff.
Yeah.
We joke around
Feel
about email
free.
a lot, but seriously, email Rex with what you're looking for. So this way we can sort of kind of get out in front of this a little bit, and like
and Round Guy says it's the orange ring, but the problem is only one person can have that ring, Round Guy. So
I got tons, Round Guy. No problem, buddy.
That's why I always love the orange ring, like the power of the orange ring.
The ring, the ring of avarice, right? Yeah.
I'm not sharing this. Forget it.
So Round Guy, listen.
I'm sorry.
Wait, real quick. Just hit submission form. Jay, if you don't mind putting it up again, with your ship to address, your real name, and we'll get it outdoor for you ASAP. All right, buddy? All right, I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead.
Round Guy's real name is Larfleeze, by the way. But that's one of my favorite things. When Jeff Johns came up with the emotional spectrum with the rings, I thought all of it was so clever with how the colors corresponded to emotions. But then the orange ring being about avarice and greed, and there's only one. I was like, that's perfect. That's perfect, man.
All right. So anybody that purchased something, please hit the submission form, only because Amy will beat me if you don't.
Amy's next appearance on the show won't be nearly as pleasant.
Amy never came back, by the way. Amy never came back. I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest.
You saw how things were going, and she was like, I'm outie. No, I'm good. But yeah, this time of year, especially in this part of the country, this isn't like meatball sandwich time of year. This is, if anybody's getting a hot sandwich this time of year, it's probably like sausage and peppers.
You are so full of it.
I can only tell you what I can tell you.
I know a little bit about food. Now, please, okay.
This is the time of year where it's a lot of like chicken salad, club hoagies, turkey roast beef.
So, Round Guy, what do you mean by Hulk covers, buddy?
The Hulk covers.
I think he's talking about the ones on the rack. Those were claimed by Ronald already.
Yeah, I think those were claimed earlier.
Yeah, unfortunately, those have been claimed already, buddy. I'm sorry.
We still got the Spider Boy, though, for sure.
We do. You know what? Let's reflash that. Edge of the Spider-Verse #1, signed with Spider Boy cover sketch by Ken Haeser. Give JD a second, though. All right, there we go. So suggested retail of $99.99. We have the one available for $62.19. So that unfortunately is the only cover sketch that is still available for the night. Ken Bird, what's up, buddy? So Jay wants to know. Yeah.
Right now, we are 5 days away from Horror Fest, and he's making a joke because I've been making sure everybody knows how many days exactly we have since day 14.
Just in case.
5 days. It starts Saturday night on Dylan's Horror Show with the 1980 classic Maniac, and then next week on PCP Movie Night, the entire Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise.
Wait, Maniac. I remember this movie. Why do I remember this movie?
Because you probably saw Tom Savini get his head blown off in a car, and it's like one of the most awesome things you've ever seen.
Yes, that's right.
Start
I
the
remember.
bidding
I remember that movie.
All right, so real quick, round guy. Sorry you missed the Hulk, but I'm sure we can pull more Hulk for you. And I don't know if this is in your budget, but I just paid a lot for a Marvel Age cover. This was at $2,500. If anybody wants it, I'll do $1,600. I got to pay for other stuff. So, really cool Spider-Man 100 homage. In homage to John Romita Sr., one of the greatest covers of all time.
$2,500. This sounds like that for Superpowers is going to be $14.95.
I gotta tell you, I think my boyhood love of Secret Wars went a little nuts when I saw that. This is where Robbie goes, but it's not Crisis on Infinite Earths, Nick.
Lyle, be safe.
Be
buddy.
safe, Lyle.
Oh, be safe, Lyle. Most important thing.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nick, while you're here, do you own any Frank Miller originals? I'm curious.
I do.
Nice.
Yes, he
You need to
does.
send me some pictures, please.
I have no problem. I'll send them to you.
I would love that. That would be awesome.
Wow, seriously, stay safe. And by the
Yeah.
way, if anybody wants to buy this, you can do 20% down and the rest within 30 to 60 days. Wow, seriously, man, be good. Let us know how you're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously. God
definitely.
bless, man.
We
Take
would like
care
to
of
know.
yourself.
You have our email address, so email me, Rex, and Amy, and let us know that you're okay.
I would ask you if you would take this blue ring in exchange for that, but this is your ring too.
Yes. That is my ring.
The problem with
It was
blue
like-
rings right now. The problem with
hard.
blue rings right now, John, is they're really not seasonal. So you have to give that back until it's the appropriate
right?
season.
No, here's the thing. I hate being left-handed. I always
Smudge
smudge
every day.
everything. Here's the thing about John. Anything he wants to trade me, he took out of here anyway.
Would you be interested in trading? No.
So, all right.
I'll
And
tell you who
did,
loves
did we
Nick the
promise
most in my
Round Guy a
house.
ring? An orange one?
If he wants one, sure.
Well, yeah, I told him to hit submission form, but he said that
Yeah, he
I
said he
think-
was supposed to get an orange one. Yeah.
I think that was something that happened on the Fat Jack show with the rings.
Well, it'll be taken care of now.
all right. So,
And you'll get a sealed one.
all right. So, Round Guy, remember, hit that submission form. It gives us all the info, and we'll get it out to you, buddy. All right. And don't forget this ASM page, originally 25 recreation by
Bob Layton.
Bob Layton, 2,500, 1,600 tonight. All right.
Gee, these are Green Lantern rings, or I should say lantern rings.
Yeah, they came out during Blackest Night, Brightest Day, all that stuff. Yeah.
Blackest Night.
All right, Jay, what do we got coming up tonight?
You know what? I'm just gonna go up here real quick.
Here, let me let John do his John a White thing.
Well, she asked about it, so
And Round, that's the ring that you're getting, is the one on John's fingers right now. So you're gonna get pizza grease on it. You're gonna get, no, I'm just kidding.
no, yours is sealed, man. This was like a demo one that I just.
Oh, that was the last one.
And now you got to pay for it. It's been on John's finger.
Exactly. The
John,
orange
you-
rings are in season,
Feel anymore.
just so everybody knows.
The orange ones are for fall, I guess.
All right, you know what? What do we got? 4 minutes. All right,
Oh,
we will give out.
lantern ring. What color?
Can you tell me we actually got done?
All right, real quick.
Clayton J.
Time
Clayton
out.
J. actually got it.
Hashtag, okay, lantern ring. You guys got 4 minutes, and I'll give away a lantern ring.
OUG needs one. OUG, what color do you want?
Nice.
Time out.
Unfortunately, there's
It's a giveaway,
not
man,
for OUG.
for everybody.
See,
And
it's just not-
and OUG, they did them all. Like they did them all, the entire spectrum. They even did white.
Not have green.
They
We
did
do
black.
not have yellow.
Oh,
all
there
right.
you go.
All right, so I'm giving everybody. It is 7:54.
And you know what the worst part of this
What?
is? Nick actually handed me this one.
let's go
That
to.
makes Nick like a
Wait.
guardian of
If
the
we get to
universe.
30 likes, we'll give somebody a set of 4 rings.
Ooh, yeah.
All right,
that's
so
right.
we're giving a set of 4 instead of just 1.
If we get to 30 likes. If we don't get to 30 likes, we're only going to give away 1.
Where are we at?
27 here, 28.
I think the green one is the only one that
I should have
take out
said 31 because for some reason YouTube takes away 1 like at the end of a show.
I did not know that.
What?
Yeah. So, but we'll live with 30, even though it should be 31.
The black ones were.
They found out Nick was double liking things.
And they did 2 versions of those rings too, just so everybody knows. They did ones that were like glossy, and
milk
then
film,
some with
yeah.
a matte, some with a
Yeah.
matte finish.
These are plastic rings, buddy. Okay.
There was a Green Lantern ring at a con a few years ago that I seriously considered buying. It was made, and the guy wanted like $6,500.
Yeah, Mike Asbill, you're correct. Yeah, his bid did hold.
For 6,500, John, that ring better actually work.
You know that's what
what?
every
For
friend told me.
$6,500, this $1,600 cover is a steal.
All right.
The guy
Bob
had
Layton's traveling Europe, Korea, the world at
He's never
70
coming
years
back?
old. No, he's coming back, but he's coming back in the new year. He's not doing recreations anymore.
OUG said
All right.
she would wear this everywhere. You know what? I think that's a good idea.
Bob
Well,
Layton is
Jay-
also one of the most important Iron Man artists of all time. Bob Layton is.
Jay, spin it, please.
The greatest Iron Man
I
artist
said
of all
if
time.
you had the green ones in here, it would have been the Hal Jordan cover where he has a ring on
Yeah,
every finger.
yeah.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
What's that, like 48, 49, something like that?
All right.
Right?
49.
49.
I think it's 49. Right before Parallax. I love the way Jeff Johns like rejiggered that to make it work.
Stevie V, I have
Yeah,
a Legion
for sure.
ring at home.
All right, Jay, you okay back there, buddy?
Not only did they do those Legion rings, they did a flash ring that you could open up and had a little flash costume inside of it.
Just a
Yeah,
second,
I
have it
know
now.
costume in there.
I never got that.
All right, here we go.
Who's going to send that?
Who's gonna send me a link?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
I just want a link. I'll buy it.
Preston.
Preston.
Is that who asked for it?
You can
No,
no,
it was
OUG
OUG.
did.
Who did?
OUG.
OUG. Officially
gets
unofficial.
one.
But all right, OUG, we're gonna send you one as well.
What color did she want? Did she say?
Pick a color, OUG.
What color do you want?
White, orange, or black? Preston gets all 4. OUG can pick a color.
All right, so OUG, let us know the color that you're looking for, or you can always, email us.
The orange
Let
was
us know.
really sweet. I like these.
OUG,
Yeah.
I don't have green, I don't have yellow. I'm sorry.
Or red.
We never got any, or red. We never got
Well,
any
those
of
were
them
so
in.
hot during the story, right? Because you had all the Rage Lanterns, and then you
So we have black, orange, silver, and blue. Those are the 4 that we do have.
White.
Okay, black. You got
White.
it. OUG.
That's okay. There you
had
go.
white.
There's no
Yeah.
silver lantern yet.
Give it time.
White.
Yeah, just-
Whatever.
Me
All
and
right,
John are
so-
cooking that idea up right now. We're about to
I
pitch it
know,
to
right?
DC.
As soon as we go off the air, Robbie, call me.
All right. So tune in. Robbie, you got you have a show tonight, right?
No, we're off tonight because we're getting ready for Horror
Oh, that's
Fest, which
right.
starts Saturday
Maniac.
night with
That's right.
Maniac, and then next
That's right.
Monday, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the franchise.
All right. So then
I'll dig it out for you, OUG. This sounds
on-
Preston, but
on Wednesday we'll be back. Thank you, TJ.
black is the color. of my soul.
On Wednesday, the new summer hours 7 to 8. Robbie and I will be back Friday at noon for topic of the day, and then of course Nick has his original art show at 7
Do we
p.m.
know what's next on the experience?
on Friday. Jay, what's up next, buddy?
So we're going to be taking a break. Later on tonight, we're going to have the Devil's Advocates with Kyle and Bronze Age Nerd, and they're going to be talking about, is social media good for comics?
Huh,
Social media is good for
anything.
nothing.
Yeah.
I know,
right?
It's all bad. It was a mistake.
So
That's what I
all
was
right.
thinking.
All right. Thank you everybody for
Thank
being
you,
with us
Robbie.
this Monday. Robbie,
check out
Jay,
this show.
John when he's here.
Thanks for. I got here with like 90 seconds to spare today.
Without my John Cole sandwich. But we'll be back on Wednesday for another hour of Comic Collectables. And be sure to check out Robbie's channel as well. Great content there.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you again, guys. We will see you next
Have
time.
a great night. Thanks, everybody.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.